Welcome to the Brant Phillips Show, the show dedicated to results. Now, here's Brant.
Welcome, everybody, to the Brant Phillips Show. This is Brant Phillips, and yes, this is the show dedicated to just one thing, results, helping you create results in your life, in your business, in your real estate investments, and if nothing more, just to give you a little boost, just a little motivation, a little inspiration to go out and have a great day. Like, take steps today, chop wood, lay bricks to build an incredible life and business each and every day. So I heard an old song recently, and from way back in the day that I used to listen to in college. I heard it the other day, and I heard this line, and this line said this. He said, "You see, it all comes down to living fast or dying slow." You see, it all comes down to living fast or dying slow. And he was talking about this choice between, kind of living life in the fast lane, becoming this big, entertainer or whatever, just kind of playing small, playing safe. And he said, it all comes down to living fast or dying slow. And so I'm going to ask a question. How many of you out there are facing a similar decision in your life in terms of maybe not living fast, but living free versus dying slow, living free versus dying slow? You see, I've seen this all too many times in my world where people reach out, maybe they're, read my book, or they go to a webinar, an event, and they're like, man, like I wish I could, break free from my job and do real estate full time or do this business that I'm passionate about, or turn it into where it's profitable, but I can't, I'm stuck at this job. And I hear that all of the time, and I'm going to share a little story with you. Back when I was in the corporate world, and I will tell you, I was absolutely in this position where I felt like I was dying a very slow death in terms of burnout, just not being happy, not being fulfilled. Financially, there were always, struggles and challenges starting a new family in this job, and I didn't like it, and that's where I began to just, begin to become clear on what I wanted and what I didn't want. And I remember when I first started buying investment properties, right in the very beginning, my very first year, I was talking to my coworkers, my friends, my buddies, or whatever at work, about what I was doing. And there was one particular guy that I talked to quite a bit, and he said, I've always wanted to invest in real estate, but my wife won't let me. And I was like, well, I'm fortunate because my wife supports me, but I'm like, maybe your wife just doesn't understand. Maybe to explain it better to her, maybe you need to honestly raise your commitment level. Like, maybe she senses that you're not 100% certain you want to do that or committed to it. But so anyways, that's a whole different discussion about that. But so after I'd bought like 4 or 5 of my first properties in the first 5 months, when I started investing, I made a decision. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to keep this real estate stuff a little bit hush-hush in the workplace because I was getting very aggressive with it. I was still doing my job. I was doing well. I was performing, got top performer awards and things like that. So I was loyal to my employer to do what I committed to do and finish top in sales and all that kind of stuff while I was still doing real estate. But I'll tell you, every moment that I had that I wasn't working or doing something with my family, pretty much I was like building my investing business. And so about 2 years later, I decided to leave my job. I'd bought about 25 properties, and I was leaving my job, and I was starting another real estate business at that time. And I talked to my friend, and he's like, man, this is near the end. I hadn't announced that I was leaving, but he was like, man, how are those properties that you bought are doing? And that's why I kind of spilled the beans, if you want. I said they're doing pretty good, man. As a matter of fact, I'm about to put in my 2 weeks notice. And he was like, what? I can't believe that. And I will tell you that He's not working at that company. He's working at another company, still at his job. And this friend of mine called me a few months ago. He had some kind of property tax protest issue or something. I don't know. He had a real estate question. And he said the same thing again. He's like, man, I've always wanted to do that, but my wife still doesn't really want me to do that. So I'm working this job and blah, blah, blah. And dude, I just felt bad for him, because I knew in his heart of hearts he wasn't happy. I did what he did. It's not a fun thing, it's a long, slow grind. Hey, this is Brant, and I hope you're enjoying today's show. If you're at a place in your life or your business where you just feel stuck, or you just don't know what actions to take to help you get unstuck or onto the path to creating the results you truly desire, please take a few minutes and go to my website, brantphillips.com. There's some really valuable resources and information that may be able to help you out. And if you're interested in really speeding up results with the help of a coach and mentor and adding true accountability and guidance to your life and business, please reach out to me from my website as well at brantphillips.com, or going directly to www.brantphillips.com/coaching. Now let's get back to the show. And I've left, I've been doing this 11 years, and I left my job over 9 years ago, almost 10 years ago. And I've seen it firsthand, the difference between living free and dying slow. And so I want to say this also, that there's nothing wrong with having a good job and having a corporate job and things like that. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Unless, and I'm going to say this, unless in your heart of hearts, inside that you have a bigger calling in your life. I like to call this sometimes the voice. Like, if the voice inside is telling you something different, it's calling you something bigger, and you're continuing playing small, and you're playing safe, and you're stuck in this job, or maybe it's even stuck in your small business, and you're living life like a zombie, like the life is being sucked out of you because of whatever it is that you're doing. Well, then, my friend, I say shame on you. And there is a problem with you staying stuck in that job or that place. If you know in your heart of hearts there's something more for you, because that, my friend, is your fault. That is your choice, and you still have a choice to begin to do something about it. To begin doing something about it and taking steps to creating a life and creating a business where you're living free and not just dying slow, like actually living. And there's a huge difference in living, waking up, going to work, doing something you really don't enjoy each and every day, versus living free. And I challenge you to do this. Each morning you wake up, just look in the mirror. Like, take a look in the mirror, eye to eye with yourself each and every morning, and ask yourself, on a scale of 1 to 10, and be incredibly honest, how excited are you to be alive and do what you're going to do today? How excited are you to be alive and to be doing what you're doing today? My friend, if you're at or below 5 on a consistent level, we have a massive problem. You have a massive problem that you need to address. You should be in that 7 to 10 range, like, every day. Even the 5s and 6s are scary. So ask yourself, hold yourself accountable, and be honest about that score that you give yourself, and make a commitment to yourself that you can have more, and that you can live free, and that you can create different results, and you don't have to stay stuck in this job and in this life that you've created. And I know it seems difficult at times. Trust me, I know this. This is one of the main things that I do with my coaching students, with my one-on-one coaching students, is it's not just the ability for them to acquire business skill sets and real estate investing fundamentals to go out and create their business. Because we reverse engineer when they come to me. I worked with 2 new students yesterday, and we were whiteboarding stuff all day long, reverse engineering their plan to replace their income from their real estate investments. And they've got work to do ahead of them, right? It's not easy. They're building a business, so it's going to take a little bit of time. It may take them a year, it may take them a little bit longer to create their freedom. But as you know, as we're reverse engineering, we're building on their plan. I work with my students. The other thing that we have to really fight with, or they have to battle, and I have to help and support them, is really just battling these limiting mindsets, these limiting beliefs that tell people that I have to do this, I have to stay here, I have to have this job, I have to stay stuck. I'm destined to die slow. And it's simply not true. It's simply not true. It's absolutely not true. And I want you, each and every one of you listening to this, just to consider that if you've got bigger dreams and bigger desires coming from deep from within, maybe from the voice inside, consider that those voices and these callings that you feel are truth, and possibly they're calling you to live the life that you're meant to live. And each and every day that goes by that you pacify them, that you shut them out, that you don't respond to them, you're just making it more difficult to make that transition into a life of freedom. But my friends, only you can answer that call. Only you can step out and begin taking action. So do me a favor. Go find out. Begin to explore. Listen to the voice inside and begin to seek out and create what living free is for you. Don't die slow. Live free by creating the life and the business that you dream about. Well, that's it, my friends. Once again, I thank you for listening to the show. I look forward to helping you create results in your life and in your business.
You've been listening to The Brant Phillips Show. To listen to past shows, get updates on future shows, and find other resources or information about coaching, visit BrantPhillips.com.